Hello students, welcome to today's English class. Today let us discuss the topic Connectives, and I am Roopna Ravindran, Assistant Professor of English, Government Degree College Chevella in Rangareddy district of Telangana state. Let us go to the next slide where we discuss about the topic Connectives. What are connectives? Connectives are connecting adverbs that link ideas which may be in different sentences or paragraphs. So if you are framing a paragraph or at least 4 or 5 sentences or even an essay to show the relation between one or two sentences or more, you have to use connectives. Examples for connectives are but, and, so, instead of, lastly, finally, similarly. So all these kinds of words that are used as linkages between sentences in a paragraph or in an elaborate essay, or it can be 4 or 5 sentences also. So these are called connectives. They help to establish connection within and between sentences. So you will feel it easy to comprehend, easy to understand, and it helps you to link your ideas, sentences and paragraph. You will not feel ideas broken in a paragraph. So to merge those ideas between sentences, you use connectives. They help us to anticipate what is coming next in the paragraph. So if you mention the first paragraph and you begin that paragraph with first, and then the second paragraph you begin with secondly, third paragraph thirdly, and fourth paragraph finally. So there is a kind of progression that you can see within these different paragraphs. So it is easy for the reader to read and his reading capability will move smoothly from one idea to another, from one paragraph to another. So the paragraphs seem to be better organized when we use connectives, and it is easier for the readers to understand. The paragraph become coherent and cohesive. It becomes well organized. There are two types of connectives that you have to be aware of in the beginning. They are coordinating connectives and subordinating connectives. Now, coordinating connectives join two main clauses to make a compound sentence. So, if you are framing a compound sentence, then you have two different main clauses. So, if you are combining the two main clauses with a connective, then it becomes a compound sentence coordinated by what? Coordinating connectives. Examples for coordinating connectives are given in green. Examples are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so are examples. Then coming to the sentences in red, she walked to the class but her brother ran. So in this sentence, but is the connector. That is, but is coordinating connective. It is coordinating between two main clauses. Main clauses means independent clauses that has independent existence. She walked to the class. That is an independent clause. Her brother ran. That is again an independent clause. So we are joining two independent clauses with a connective but. Next example. I fell out of the bed, so mom came to check on me. So here also you have two independent clauses conjoined by the coordinative connective so. I fell out of the bed is one clause. So mom came to check on me is another main clause. So both these clauses are combined by the coordinating connective so. Next is subordinating connectives. Subordinating connectives are used to make complex sentences. Earlier it was compound sentences. Now it is complex sentences. So in complex sentence, they join a main clause to the subordinate clause. Examples will be if, although, even though, while, because, since, etc. So these subordinating connectives can be seen in front and also in the middle of the sentence. Examples can be, although he was happy, he was still seen unhappy. So in the beginning of the sentence, we have used the connective although. Even though he is thoroughly trained, he still makes a lot of mistakes. So he is thoroughly trained, still he makes lot of mistakes. In this sentence, even though is a subordinating connective. So let us go to the next slide. Here you have different types of connectives based on the function they perform. So earlier it was not like that. Earlier it was based on the structure of the sentence, how the connectives conjoin two clauses. That is, if it is main clauses, then it becomes a compound sentence and it is a coordinating connective, and if it is a subordinate clause and a main clause, it is a subordinating connective that connects two clauses. But here it is differentiated based on the function they perform. Adding connectives. Adding connectives are used to add further information. Example will be additionally. Then you have sequencing connective. Sequencing connective is used to develop a logical sequence of ideas in a chronological order. So, sequencing connectives are mostly used in essays or in speech to give clarity. Initially, secondly, thirdly, finally, all these are sequencing connectives. Next is emphasizing connective. They help to highlight certain points. Example will be especially. Next is comparing connectives. In comparing connectives, you compare two ideas. Example will be similarly, likewise, and all that. Okay. Next is contrasting connectives. You show the difference between two ideas. You are taking two opposite ideas and you are showing the difference between two ideas. Example will be whereas. Next is cause and effect connectives. So you have to explain why something happens, the reason for something. That is why it is called cause and effect connectives. So cause will be reason and effect connective will be the result of that cause. So example will be consequently and therefore as a result. Next is illustrating connectives. Illustrating connectives are used to provide examples. For example, for instance, such as, all these are illustrating. So here we have a table and we have the types of connectives according to their function, and I have given different examples. So let us look at the first type, that is to show addition we use certain connectives. Example will be, first one is both. So when do you use the word both? We use it to talk about two things or people. Example, a film is good for both young and old. So you are talking about two kinds of people. That is why you have used the connective both there. In the same sentence, I have used the connective and also to connect two people, two types of people. Then you have the word also to show in addition to, similarly as well as. Then the word is moreover. When do we use moreover? To talk about a matter in a further way, as a further matter. Example, moreover, the statistic shows that competition for places is growing. Next example is for two. Two also shows in addition. So an example will be, is he coming too? Is he also coming? So all these are related. Next, furthermore. Furthermore also shows in addition to. So an example will be, he was cold and tired. Furthermore, he was hungry. Next one, on the left hand side I have written contrast. It is to show two opposite kind of things. So an example will be but. So two different ideas combined together with the connective but. Example, he stumbled but he did not fall. If he stumbled, he is supposed to fall, but then he did not fall. So two opposite ideas combined with the connective but. Then you have whereas, used in similar context. Then you have instead of, used in place of someone or something. So the teacher did not come. Instead of the teacher, the Ayamma came and sat in the class. Next one, alternatively. Alternatively is used as another option or possibility. Example will be, we could go to that vegetarian restaurant, or alternatively to the non-veg restaurant nearby. So it is like an additional option or possibility that you have. Another word is otherwise. Otherwise means in other respects. Similar is the meaning of unlike, on the other hand, conversely. So conversely is introducing an idea that reverses another idea that is already established. Example will be, he may struggle in maths class, but conversely he shows a talent for writing in English language. So two opposite things. In one subject he is struggling, he is not good at all, but in another language, in another skill in language, he is showing a talent. To conjoin those kinds of contrasting ideas, we have used the word conversely. Next section is to show similarity. To show similarity, we use certain connectives. That is likewise. Likewise means in the same way. Same is the meaning with similarly. As with also has the same meaning. An example, I'll give you an example. As with the calculations, this can be simple. So the meaning is similar to as per. As per the calculations, this can be simple. According to. Next is like, equally. Example, both the kids are equally good at maths. In the same way. Next section is cause or reason. So you have to find out the causal connective. Reason, to find the reason for something. So you use the word, the connecting word because, since, for a reason. Okay. Example will be, they were delighted since their project was accepted. So you are mentioning the reason why you are happy, why you are delighted. Then you have as, as. It can be replaced with because, since. All of them have the same meaning. They are denoting the reason for something. Then you have in case. If it is true that. Okay. In case you lose your way, call me immediately. So if at all you forget the route, then you call me immediately. Then you go to the next section, that is the effect or result. So the cause is over. Now you are going to the result. So first one will be, as a consequence of something, you get the result. Then you have therefore, as a result, hence, so, due to. So all these come in the result section. Next is time. To denote time, we use certain connectives. Examples will be until. The child didn't come home until it was late night. So it is not a good situation. Next, first. Next, meanwhile, in the end, eventually, in due course, after a while. So all these are connectives used to denote time. Next is example. To show example, we can use the connective for example, for instance, in case of, such as, etc. Then to list, you use these kinds of connectives, that is initially, firstly, secondly, to begin with, first of all, and all that. Then to summarize, to show in totality, you use these connectives briefly, to sum up, to conclude, finally, thus, and all. Okay. So let us go to the next slide. Here you have a paragraph, and in this paragraph the connectives are mentioned in red color. So let us read this paragraph. In speech or in writing, linking words are useful in several ways. Linking words means connectives. For example, that is a connective. They help us in conveying our thoughts in a meaningful manner. Secondly, so you are linking it using the list connective. Secondly, the linkers make it possible for us to initiate and develop the main idea of the paragraph. So, to establish a link between the third sentence and the fourth sentence, you are using another connective. Thirdly, they help us illustrate and provide supporting details. Next, they make it easy to progress from one idea to another by joining one idea to another, by joining one sentence with another. Finally, they facilitate better understanding of ideas presented in a paragraph or in an essay. However, using too many linkers can affect the structure and coherence of the paragraph. So in this paragraph, they are talking about connectives, and also they have used many connectives. So what are the connectives that are used in this paragraph? For example, secondly, thirdly, next, finally, and however. So all these are connecting words. So because of the usage of these connective, we find the paragraph easily comprehensible. Then we have textual exercises. So the first exercise is choose the appropriate connective. You are given two connectives in brackets, and from the bracket you have to use the appropriate connective. Dash, we started late, we still arrived in time. Although we started late, we still arrived in time. Many people in the office tried to help us. They were friendly too. I love carom. Dash, my friends prefer cricket. So it is contrast. In that situation, you use whereas. I love carom, whereas my friends prefer cricket. Fourth sentence. Dash, I didn't know anyone at the party. I left early. You need a reason why you left early. So, you begin the sentence with as. As I didn't know anyone in the party, I left early. Fifth one. Manu wanted to watch the film. Dash, he fell asleep halfway through. He wanted to watch the film, but what happened? He fell asleep halfway through. So the connective to be used there is but. Manu wanted to watch the film, but he fell asleep halfway through. Let us go to the next exercise. Fill in the gaps with a suitable connective. More than one connective may be possible. We can use more than one connective because many connectives have the same meaning. They took a map along. Dash, they lost their way. They took a map. Even then, they lost their way. So, we can use the connective yet. She had sprained her ankle. Dash that she managed to participate in the dance competition. So, she had some injury in her ankle. She had sprained her ankle, but even then she managed to participate in the dance competition. To show that we use the connective despite. Despite that, she managed to participate in the dance competition. Third sentence. My handwriting is terrible. Dash, my sister's handwriting is beautiful. You use the connective but. Whereas is also correct. My handwriting is terrible, but my sister's handwriting is beautiful. Or you can use my handwriting is terrible, whereas my sister's handwriting is beautiful. Next, fourth one. She came late to the exam hall. Dash, she forgot to bring a pen. So, she came late to the exam hall. All the more what she did, she forgot to bring her pen also. So, what do you write there? You write the connective moreover. Next one. He is a bad driver. Dash, he hasn't had any accidents. He is a bad driver. He doesn't drive well, but then he didn't go and bump into any accident. So we use the connective however. He is a bad driver. However, he hasn't had any accidents. Next one. Link the sentences in a logical way with an appropriate connective. So you will be given two sentences and you have to connect the sentences using an appropriate connective. The firm was doing badly. It was closed. The firm was doing badly. Consequently, it was closed. Or you can use as a result, it was closed. Both are correct. Next one. It is your money. You can do what you like with it. It is your money and you can do what you like with it. Next one. The program was cancelled. All the tickets had been sold out. The program was cancelled after all the tickets had been sold out. Next one. It is very hot. Turn on the air conditioner. It is very hot. So, turn on the air conditioner. You are talking about the reason why you are switching on the air conditioner. Next, I slipped and fell. I fractured my knee point. I slipped and fell, thus I fractured my leg. She is telling how she fractured my leg. Or you can even use furthermore. I slipped and fell. Furthermore, I fractured my leg. So, many connectives match these sentences. You have to use the right connective. Next one. Read the sentences and correct the errors in the use of connectives. First one, I will call you wherever I have result. So, what is the connective that they have wrongly used in the sentence? Wherever. So, you have to replace wherever and use a appropriate connective. That is, I will call you after I have my results in hand. Next, you keep my books when you like. What is the connective used here? When is the connective used here? That is not correct. So, what is the right connective that you use? You use whenever. Next one. My sister went shopping. Moreover, she didn't buy anything. My sister went shopping. However, she didn't buy anything. So, the correct connective that you have to use there is however. My nephew is good at languages because my niece is good at maths. What is the wrongly used connective there? Because. So, what do you use there? You use the word but or whereas. Both are correct. Fifth one. I was getting late though the guest didn't leave. Though is wrongly used connective. So, you have to replace with moreover or you can use furthermore. Next one, you have certain sentences given in jumble order. So, what you have to do, you have to read all the sentences first and then rearrange them in proper order so that it becomes a meaningful text. So here you have these sentences, and in these sentences the connectives are given in italics. Okay, so in total you have 11 sentences. Let us go to the next slide, and there I have given the answer that I have put all the sentences in the proper order, so it makes sense for you. On Friday night, two buses collided in heavy rain. One was a sleeper bus going to Hyderabad. So you are mentioning about the number of buses. So you use the word one. The other one was a Volvo bus in which a marriage party was traveling from Hyderabad to Pune. Both the vehicles suffered considerable damage, though is a connective there. In spite of this damage, two vehicles managed to reach nearby depot. However, because of the heavy rain, the drivers could not see the danger until a few seconds before the collision. However, is the connective used there. Consequently, there was no time for them to avoid the accident. Eyewitnesses said that neither of the vehicles was speeding at the time of the accident. Luckily, there was no loss of life. Luckily is a connective there, but the drivers and 5 passengers sustained minor injuries. A spokesperson for the RTA said a committee of inquiry would be set up to investigate this matter and look into the causes. The official added that the Principal Secretary, Minister of Transport would be heading the committee. So all the connecting words are put in italics so that it will be clear for you. So that's all for today. I hope you are clear. Thank you. Thank you, students, for listening.